Somebody ask a question. I never take questions. Very good. So, yes, the Kohen is Kahana Rabba. Kohen is Alien. He is the first connector to. He's the first connector to Ein Sof, to Source, and it's a very, very intense job to be able to first in line to receive from this very. I didn't say it's very rigid. It's very precise. It's not just being centered. It's being fully. You're almost not here. You're just a conduit. I'm a Kohen. So they do it with massive chasadim, and they're quick, and they have a sense of humor. Yeah, they have a sense of humor. Aaron Cohen was like a warm guy. He was a geschmack type of guy. Everybody loved him. Moshe was serious. So yes, but Chesed is also from the right side, right? Chesed is the right side, which is the Kavach Chasadim. What's aligned with Chesed? Chachma. Yeah. So Chachma is Koyach Ma. Chachma is intense work. Chachma is the Chachma, how the Eibusha shows up in Welt, how everything operates through. And Chachma is a Chachma Rois Anoilot. Chachma sees the end results. And then it's Karacham Avabanim. It's brutal. It's the Nesher. The Nesher is brutal. The Nesher is the biggest Achzer, but it's called she's Marachim. She has tremendous compassion, but she does it with mercy, with full of mercy, merciless. So the Kohen is Ishalian, but he can act quick too, very quick. He can be so swift that, technically speaking, Pinchas did not have the right to kill him, because it was a Nachri and it wasn't Gili. There was no reason to do that. But in a moment of kanaz, in a moment of fire for Eibishter, he acted, and it was so precise that the Eibishter said, usually for something like this, you lost the Kehina. The Kohen, he killed somebody. But because Heshev Chamasi, you hit the spot. It was a perfect mission. It was perfect target. Your intention was correct, and boom. That's why I will forever be going through Yazbrisi Shalom. Listen, let's just say that's what it is. Then Machshava and Ma'aseh have to align very well, and it's not so easy to from the Machshava. If you're acting in a moment of kanaz, there can be some anger there. We're talking about perfection. Like there was no yeshes. It was l'shem shemaim, and so he nailed it. That's why I'm going to give him my Bris Shalom. And the Moiranim goes into that. So we don't need to talk. We can just go inside. Correct. That's also one. It's the Bris. How powerful the Bris is. Bris means any type of handshake. So Bris Milah, Bris Shabbos, and Tefillin is a solid handshake to Creator. It's a powerful line. So that's why Heshev Chamasi, that's why he's given him Shalom, because once he brought back it was directed, the energy was flowing in one way, but then he redirected. So let's go back up for a second.
what's happening over here. So this is Zoya repeated from my Chavrusin. So I did not, yeah, I did see it inside. Yeah, it's here. Okay. So first there's something called the Baal Po'eh. The Baal Po'eh is a Avodah Zarah that the way you serve this Avodah Zarah that they took a dump and they sent it, right? Yeah, everybody knows about the Baal Po'eh. Does anybody know how it works? What? Can anybody imagine what the Indian is? Okay. So it was a certain way of doing Avodah Zarah from the absolute entry of the lowest of the low. The Tohem. It's from that. And it's an Acharaim. It's a massive Acharaim back door. The Yidden sent it over there. They were making fun of them. Shiur was making fun of them, so they sent it like in the Chos Kakan was on a so they were making fun of it. The problem was that it's such a low nukva that it picked up the energy. You sent it, you got, boom, you're there. They made fun of it. There was a connection. That's how real this game is. We're talking about real. If it's too intense, then take your time, and not necessarily when you're ready it's going to happen. You need entry. Okay, you're allowed. Boom, approved. You can do avodah, but not necessarily does it open up. So, talking about the sensitivity to it. Fine. So continue living your lives. I still get touched by what somebody may say. So, but then, yeah. No, but then it's an act of aggression. But if you don't say it, then it's an act of, it's too soft. So the kids at Amaisa, everybody included, or not. That's me. So they got attracted. They got traced, and the Eibishter said. So what happened over here was as follows. The whole time in the midbar, we were in an incubator. The Anane Yakovit, going through. There was a cloud at night. It was a perfect heichel. There was the smoke, the ktoides going, the chimney. I mean, they had the lichas in there. Forget it. You're talking about next level. Bilam and Balak, they're trying to figure out a way how to crack this, how to break into that. So Balak showed him where the weak spot is, but he couldn't see how. So they needed Bilam. So Balak was the guy that knew where, and Bilam was the guy that had to make it happen, the whatever it was there. Does that. Okay. I was talking today, which the passage was his. Anyways. So he saw a weakness, what they say, B'ktsei Aham. Once again, we're not talking here about the Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael, nobody can touch a Yid. Neshama is too delicate. We're awake. It's always from the it's always from the Erev Rav that came along. Because they said they surrendered. He said that, took whatever the cheshbon was. So, these Erev Rav's children, they married with Sheva Chimon. So that's where he saw that's where there's a penetration, there's a weakness over there. So this, that, and the other, they sent the stuff, they made one mistake, they sent it for a joke, whatever it was or not, whatever the kavanah was, I'm sure it wasn't stam geschickt. Talking here about the Daradaya. They knew the consequences of everything, they were dead aligned. Anything can flare up, and some things that may think is the biggest thing just flows.
They ask for meat, boom, zets. As for this, they're okay. The egel, achala kerega, fine. But it's just like these, so they have to be so aligned, and with all the alignment that you had, you never knew when it was coming. And that's why Moshe said, Hareini nos kvadecha. What he said was, tell me how this works. Tell me how this works. Let me figure you out. Tell me how we can align with you. So we'll know. Once and for all, tell them what to do. The Ebshe says, you can't see me, can't understand me. So this is it, because it's L'mayla Matam Machshava less Machshava Tisa Beklal. It's an interesting transfer. The whole thing is almost like okay, this is what it is. We're not built. I know we said this in the past, but we should say this in the 3 weeks when there's potential, because you can see through the body becomes translucent, because that's the tone. That's the tone. The tone is where we feel best. It's our frequency. There's a cry, kind of as a shvarus, man weint, schon zaten in Midbenach, mit sich rausgestellt, man geht immer weinen. Ich denke, weinen, ich hat es schon gegeben zu weinen. We'll do a facilitation on crying. 2,000 years. What?
What is the? Why didn't Hashem want to show himself? I mean, this is the.
He is showing himself. He's trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out how to see it. But now we're doing the way. How? Well, we're going to get panim l'panim. Yes, we're going to elevate.
We get panim l'panim.
Sure. That's when Kessler is going to meet Malchus. When we don't have any questions anymore, we just are completely chachma, right brain.
He does it every minute. He does it now.
But we are upgrading frequency as it keeps flashing, upgrading, trying to chap until we're going to get, because in that space it's yichida. There's no questions. What do you mean I can't ask any questions? Should I work harder or not because I can't pay my bills? It doesn't exist in this space. I'm Anoich B'Shana. She's what? How do I do this? That's still Shemitah. And the Rebbe says you have to get to Yovel. Chayers. No questions.
There's a difference from after going into Yechida from before, is that by then we're still going to exist while we're going to be in Yechida versus before it was just oneness without
correct.
Expression.
It was after expression, so now we're looking good. So now we're looking back. So the ganze avoda is we're trying to figure out begin the Ishtumaydon Day. He wants us to see him, to know him, to hear him. So it's not here, it's over there. The whole Chassidus is telling you what's going on over there.
Can we see him or can't?
1 second, listen. Yes. The whole Chassidus, everything we're talking about is an energy. It's up there. It's not here. Here it's physical. So the ganze thing, the avodah is to look up and see how it works, and take what the Rebbes are saying with the Tmimis. Don't question it. I'm saying go through your process. That's not where it's like. You have to get to a place where you don't question it anymore, right? Let's say you have questions. You have to get to the place where there's no more questions. And understanding that sometimes a whole monstrosity, a whole palats was built on one pussy. Kulam b'chach masisa. I learned in the beginning. Okay, no gezuk. Kulam b'chach masisa. No elamai. After years and years, it's like kulam b'chach masisa. Bam. Like get into this. As long as we're not one aligned with the word, with the oisias, you're still in separation. What? But to this concept, that doesn't really pull me. Another concept. Okay, so what's your door? If it's not Kulam B'chach Masisa, it's Marabim L'Seich Hashem, fine. Whatever you can align yourself with, being present with that line. And that's what Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aharon Cohen did. L'chein Emma Hini Nosel as B'risi Shalom, because, says the Moiranan, he finished the job. So he finished the job, which means that the Elyon was finally able to do a proper handshake here in Tachten. A perfect alignment of a solid connection, big enough that it got him shalom forever. And he lived and he's still alive. Which means his spark is, anytime you're having an Isgalas, it's Gilul Yod. He's going to say, the Moiranam is going to say it.
any type of awareness is not because it's a good clip on YouTube. You're having an Asgalas of Eliyahu. What OCs do you want to be connected with? Fine, YouTube or this. That's already the choice. As you can see, people have breakthroughs listening to that too. It's through a filter. It's not 100% clean. Right? There's not that much resistance to that, but there's massive resistance to something that's so pure, like Chassidus, and delivered in the Beitzim, like they intended it to be delivered, at least to us. That's when it's a fact. In other words, the resistance. So you can have your door, but Pinchas is the one that created that handshake perfectly. It was done with Kanuas and all that.
So Kanuas is a good thing. Was acting out of anger.
No, that's what the Torah said. That's what the Eibusher says. No, you nailed it. You nailed it. Well, we can talk about it, what it looks like to us. But first, he nailed it 100% because he landed a landing that's nitzchus. It's forever. He's the one that's going to wake us up from our sleep. He's the one that's going to be Mavasa B'Sir Tovus. He's the one that's going to be Mavasa the B'Sir of Mashiach is coming.
So handshake means shulam.
Shulam means that he did an action that was the energy. Like, that's what I want. Yes, exactly. Heisheves Chamasi. Because it was like it was getting finapled, and he bursted that bubble. Now wait. Bilam also bursted the bubble. Because we were in a perfect hechel, we were in a perfect smoke, perfect chulim, perfectly awake. Midbar, food, everything is taken care of. You're in the desert. What do you think is going on? You're in the desert. There's nothing there. You're in the clouds. So there was an opening. There was a crack with this Zimri Bansali, and Pinchas nailed it again. He nailed it so deep that from there they were actually able to expose themselves and go out. They went full out. From there, they went into Israel, and we're still living with it. We're still living with it. So that is Galos of Eliyahu. Now that you have an address for it, which is feeling a sense when you feel a break, when you're experiencing a breakthrough. That's an address for Eliyahu. Feeling that the hour or 2 or 3 of just being present. Says the Moedanayim, that's Gil Eliyahu. And he's Mavasa B'Sir Tovus. What is he telling you? That Mashiach is coming. Moedanayim. My father has it at home. So he's going to tell us how. So the way it works is that you wake up in the morning. This is how I learned it. This is how it was learned to me by my Rebbe. This particular piece. That you wake up in the morning. Rebbe meaning teacher. You wake up in the morning and you can't go straight into conversation with high conscience. So first you have to do something. You have to do an action. You have to get varm dechun, drink a coffee, stay positive, stay high conscience. If you need to check your phone, okay. But if it's going to turn you down, then it's not the time yet. You're not prepared yet. You're not prepared to step into the day. You're like, how do I hold on to this? I don't know. How do I hold on to this? This is how you practice to hold on to this. Getting up in the morning and being present. Connect with the high conscience. First is the bittul of I'm putting on the tefillin. I can easily say no, but you choose to say yes. Kabbalah soil, and then diving into the neshama of it, which is I think it's all from here. Diving into the neshama of it. What am I feeling? What am I experiencing? What am I supposed to feel? Where am I supposed to go with this? What does this mean to me? And from there, he says that you will have, that's Mashiach, Messiah. Okay, so let's go for it. Not easily, not put on film. Reverse that word.
What if you choose
says the Talmud Aveda. That's what he's saying. He's saying Besed is like the Eibishter is saying Mashiach is the guy in the corner that nobody wants to touch. He's like, leave me alone. You want to hang out with me? I'm just a loser. It's a blitik. In every story in Mashiach, there's like this guy Nebuch, yeah. So that's what we're saying. The 3 weeks says the Talmud Aveda. That's Mashiach right there. That's the highest conscience. That's Eibishter, whatever you want to call it. It's so betachas hapshita is that while he is giving you, we do something else than what he wants. It's not our fault. We're learning it. No, it's not a threat. We're learning. We're waking up. We were sleeping.
At which point can you sit and accept it?
Accept what?
That sit in the corner.
You're saying accept him sitting in the corner or wanting to join him?
No, accept him sitting in the corner.
Him or you?
Him. He said if you choose no,
Yeah.
you're showing.
Oh, we have no choice. It's happening. He's showing up in your face. Why? Because the pinch is too big.
Right. But you could choose to do it.
Yeah.
Putting on some. You choose to put on some and
Yeah.
go with it.
Yeah.
Because he's starting the day not from there. He's starting the day waking up and being present. And as you come, because that teaches you how to live in Yechida. Because once you feel a pinch, so you could choose to put on film and go slow, the right flow, being present, or you could choose no, and still be present. And when you are present, you're good with it. You don't feel anything. That means you're in the Yechida and you're Mashiach sitting by the corner.
So that's why he's saying, if you want peace, you're going to do what he wants us to do. So you will put on film. If you don't want peace, then you're not shulam. You're leaving out a massive ois. Now, if you don't believe that, then fine. Then whoever, I'm sure you're asking for a friend, but
Maybe you are in peace.
what?
Then you're on peace by doing it. Or by not doing it.
No, so what? So you're in peace, no? Okay, if that's the frequency, then that's the frequency. Kim the Moiranam and these high conscious things telling us, are you really in peace? Are you really in peace? No, I'm not. Okay. Or I am. Fine. So he tells him, Moiranam says, no, you can be in peace because you are coming from a stream, a consciousness called Avram Yitzchak Yaakov. And we're connected to that high consciousness and you can't get away from it. You think you want to get away because it's galus. You're still under filter. So with these letters, and then surrendering to it, and having a munah and siyata d'shmaya, and tefillah, which he says, tefillah is important. Maimer says it. Tefillah is important. That's how you bring your carbon, and your makar of your carbon. Your carbon is my resistance. Any type of resistance, that is the carbon. When you say skafi esapcha, no, I won't do, or I will do, you're shechting your carbon. You're bringing your carbon. On the Karka Mekem, it's all over. But last week, the Rebbe went to Mamar. That the whole existence our only existence is the struggle. Without the struggle, there is no existence. Now, there will be an existence after the struggle is completed. But coming out from it, waking up. It's called, he calls it the koach hapoel benifal. That's when the flex, there's the flex of the muscle, and then there's the actual squeeze. We're in the squeeze. Because in the squeeze, only in the squeeze can there be Legos. Right? Only when there's that much symptom, only that squeeze, that's when we can actually be as like, I am me. And I have issues. So he designed it this way so we can finally wake up and chap this thing, yes, I am me and I am this. Now take this and look up and understand the concept in high conscious Hasidus, which will take you to that place. It will elevate your existence into that frequency.
So because we can never come out of the squeeze?
You are coming out of the squeeze.
No, because you're
Yeah,
saying
so
you're
it's
living
happening.
In the squeeze.
No. But we're given that a bitter. That's exactly where we're waking up from.
In order
Okay, so
to
can we actually get out of the squeeze?
Yes.
Instead of being in the squeeze.
Yeah, so
Shabbos, no? Is when the nefesh is b'manicha.
Yes,
Not
Shabbos.
strong.
Yes, Shabbos is a good time. Shabbos is a good.
Real ich is in
Yeah, we want to bring it into the week, but yeah, Shabbos is a good time.
But
Shabbos is it.
Symptom is not getting away.
No,
Symptom is
so
staying
that's
as
why
long as we
Shabbos.
are
No,
something.
because Shabbos we're more elevated. Harai, you don't have the noise in your head. Harai, you're not working. Harai, even though you're not working, taking the day off, you have menicha in your head. So the consciousness is raised. And if you want to prove, no, I still feel. Okay, so fine, stay there for another minute.
No, I'm not
That
talking
even
about-
Shabbos, I still feel. Not you. I'm
talking
saying
about
in
the
general.
I'm not talking about the feeling.
I'm predicting the question coming.
No?
You asked it before on the other side. What if I say no? Okay.
Well, I look at it. No, I look at it Shabbos. I look at it being in the squeeze and being so good and so present and in the squeeze. It's
Okay.
opening stuff up.
You know what?
Are
Thank
you
you.
actually
Thank
out of
you.
the squeeze?
Thank you for being a part in Bria that is able to hold space in that place. It's present so others can have a moment of peace. Because not everybody can handle it.
So,
No. Why are you laughing? You convinced me. I think that's what you wanted to hear. And I'm not saying it like that. I actually agree with it. You're present in the squeeze. So others how much does everybody here? So everybody here takes on for others. That somebody else wouldn't. To him, that's the worst thing. He needs to have this. That some people are built. So thank you for being that leg that holds. So
So
it's a very strong energy. It's my urge. Strong dinner.
So it's the peace of being in the squeeze.
What? For him, he
For
can
him,
handle it.
yeah,
He's
100%.
present over there.
if you can
And I
do
think the problem was that constantly we're trying to pull you away when really, of course, it has to come with Shefa, but I'm saying that's the Inyan. That's the energy. I think once you see this, you can actually get into Shefa from that place. It's like, I'm accepting, this is it. I'm holding space in a very intense place. And look, what you're doing is extremely grounding. Complete opposite. You
And
see
not-
how this
and-
works,
and
and
not
it's almost
backing
like that type of energy coming out of there from the depth. Okay. What?
So we shouldn't back off then.
You should back off?
Not back
No,
off.
he's not. He's not backing off. He's been fighting this idea for
But the Shefa pack.
over a year.
Yeah, but the Shefa pack.
No,
Telling
that's
me-
going to come once he's
telling
there.
me they are the squeeze?
What?
You're telling me that they are the squeeze, that's why they live in the bubble.
No, to them, he finds presence somewhere else. He can find presence in being peaceful.
It's not about
He doesn't need to be in a squeeze to be
it's
to be in
not about
existence.
being present. It's
It is about being
being
present.
existent in the bubble.
Okay, to continue. Let's go back here. What was your question?
So knowing that Yid is a Chalik Alakam, so our tuition is a godly tuition. So when my tuition tells me something, like the opposite of not film is a black or white, but something that's more gray, am I following my tuition, which is a Chalik Alakai, or I'm following Chazvus Halacha?
If you're asking if you do instinctively, what it is that you're following, or what you should follow.
What I should follow.
Halacha first, always.
I'm a Chalik Alakai. I'm equivalent to the Halacha.
You're not, because that's why this Kabbalah said there's a channel. There's a channel. The first thing in this to channel this energy is achnua. Bittul. Was achnua, bittul, no? I'm talking. That's it. Finish the terms in Chassidus. I'm not familiar with the terms, so yeah. So, yeah, okay, yeah, ich bin du. No. Lev nicht bevenitke. Unsure of himself type of thing.
That's important. So that means Sufi is important.
No, chas v'shulam. It's not sufik, but it's a
Where is
process.
this
It's
tuition
processing.
coming
Like, where is it? What is
So from where is it coming?
intuition? It's
If
chachma.
it's not. Yeah, but if it's not.
Well, it's fine. It's chachma.
Yeah?
It's a Chalik Alakai.
Yes, no was the problem. So the intuition zoekt, de Teure zoekt dat de Nuvi komt en zoekt dat gegen de Teure, dan kannst du nicht bleiben. Aber der Nuvi gezoekt, is a Nuvi shaker. Ken ich gar nicht gegen the Teure. This is what this comes. And if he's going to say what the Teure says, then fine. Then there's other programs how to.
So then intuition kicks in that this is not right, that this is fake.
No, he's asking a question. What I should listen to? First, there's a Teure in place. That's it. That's the copy.
If your intuition is not the same
As the Torah?
contrary.
Well, you asking me a liftiki kasha. Ask a real question so we can try to get a real answer.
Again,
My tuition tells me to drink chulav stam.
Mm.
That's it.
Okay,
Okay, halacha, there's no issue with that.
perfect. So, chulav stam and chulav yisrael is it's
Again, I'm not speaking about specific, I just gave an example.
you call it
It happens to me, I'm not struggling with that.
oh,
It's
so,
not,
but
it's not intuition.
It's not
Hmm.
intuition, it's a
Brain.
desire.
That's not intuition.
Why the desire from
Because your
למעלה
intuition
למטה,
is
like
programmed a different way.
if it's chachma, it's not fun.
yeah, you know what? That question was a bribe question. That's why it pulled me in without even noticing that.
But it's a good question.
What?
It's perfect.
That's why.
It's a
That's
perfect
why I
question.
didn't even check. I didn't care about the real intention behind the question. I just because I asked him for a real question. So he
Good
gave me a question that's not
So
that's not
I'm saying
logic.
It's actually a very good question.
No, it's very simple. What's
a
so
good
good?
question.
It's
It's
very
not
good.
too
So
fast.
start.
You go both ways.
It goes one way.
Yes, Michael.
It only goes one way. The way is that there's a high conscience and a lower conscience. That's it. So he's telling you Cholav Stam this, and Cholav Yisrael is that. So are you going to say, what do you mean? What it means is that this no goy had his eyes or laid his hands on, or whatever that means, milked the cow. And over here, only a Yid looked at it. So there must be, it's an upgrade. So if you feel it, then you feel it. If you don't feel it, then you don't feel it.
What to do with tuition?
No, I was answering the question to Maya.
Intuition.
Weisz, yeah.
Nothing to do with intuition.
Somebody trying to get in? No. Door's open. Okay. It's good. Weiter. Okay. Anyways, let's just go with the assumption that he knows what he's talking about. And then we'll do the questions after. Right? You gotta assume, otherwise, yeah. You're not letting the information in. What's the point? Like you're trying to chop it exactly where you're about to be caught. That's why you ask the question. No, let it go. What's the point? Just want a good fight. Okay. Okay.
We can use it once.
What?
We can use a good fight once.
Yeah, but say that, no. But let's we'll do it after.
It's hard to happen so easy.
Hey, guys.
Because they can feel, it's a yoga, it's a synergy. That feeling is not ideal. Go down, you can access it.
Exactly.
It's private.
The goy can understand the difference between too much fat in the meat. Too much fat in the meat. 1 second, no, that it's too heavy on him. But for him to understand Chulav Akim or the Chulav Yisur, he doesn't have that click. He's blocked from that. He can't, right? You do have it. So that's why when Chabad Hasidus, which is Moichin, tells you no Chulav Yisur, it's that extra torque, like that extra shine on top. Because you woke up a sensitivity within you to the difference between an Akim and a Yisrael milk. And that is Galus of Eliuri, and I think it's actually a Shtikul Mashiach also. That's what the Meronam is talking about. To have that you just click. So listen, you're going to talk about Eliyahu, you're going to have clicks. It's Pinchas over there, like he nailed it. He gave him the proper alignment. Okay, okay, go on. Third, I'm cutting pieces. The Amazu, not cutting. We're hopping over pieces. The Amazu shekol shtoikis Yisrael if the Shem Lavim shashmam al day bechinas Eliyahu. Any type of shtoikis. I wasn't sure about the shtoikis. Shtoikis is more like a, I think from the heart. It's from here. Shtoikis. What's not the shtoikis? Chilus do. Okay, you're a little lower than me. You don't want to say I'm higher than you. I'm saying, no, you were sitting. Now you changed. Because that's a nozai. So now you're stepping into it. Tell me where you feeling now. Or it's fine regardless. Yeah, everybody has their way of feeling. The emphasis of Kol Shtegas Yisrael the Shem Yish Mashma Baldei V'Chinas Eliyahu. Shehu Mavaser L'Chol Dover Shehu Shleimus. Mavaser of Vayed Zach was a Shleimus. Okay, Kagan. Toilet Tefillah. Shehu Yichud Shalom. Toilet Tefillah is a Yichud Shalom. Kanod the Machshava v'Dibber Shehu Yichud Gamer. When your Machshava is aligned with the Dibber, it's a Yichud Gamer, which means down here it says, okay, Machshava is the Choyle Madbina. So when you're mindful of what you're talking about, you are aligned with Bina. You're in aligned with you're in a yichud. You're in a yichud. Yichud means like a connection, husband and wife. Yichud. Now it's in goes from chomer into more tzura, more ruach. Machshava. And makoyd mazat tzarich tzuki gedele the cheshik gadol. Madafel masach tzuki and asach cheshik. Yeah, and that's why cheshik aligns with the pinchas thing. You have to be aggressive. You can come out canoeistic, and it's a very you have to be. You can get angry, you can get snap, intense. So it's avoided. That's why the Torah says Pinchas nailed it, and he's going to be mavasa the basiris and how to do it, how we get it perfect aligned.
What is the difference between canoeis and anger?
Huge difference. Okay, let's do this. I think in feeling, I feel it almost in the same place. It's almost as aggressive. Actually, anger is more up here, and this canoeis is more from the chest, more from the stomach. Teferis. Canoeis is teferis. The difference is that here, my whole meat is into it. I'm angry. Canoeis is from here. Pinchas ben Elazar caught him in the act, like precise. There was no anger there. There was no fat. He landed it perfectly.
Why can't anger be precise?
Because anger is throwing his table. Anger is screaming on the phone. Anger is not being able to hear, or okay, no, I'll deal with you later. That's anger because it's in the flesh. It's in the behemoth. Canoeis is not his own agenda. It's a perfect alignment. Let me see. It's
basically he's keeping himself out of the picture.
Yes. No. I want to go 1 second. I want to see 1 second. I'm trying to see if he has an alternative. Like if it's like, so I'm getting it to sitzen auf dem bank. Well, actually not, because that's his personality. He's a canoe. He can't help himself. But until he gets to the proper, he's a canoe. He has it in him. Until he gets to the proper thing. Maybe there was anger first, and then there's a lot of.
But real canoes, you should wait here because sit on his place.
Yeah, we're talking about the canoe is geboren on canoe. We're talking about perfection here. It's the toughest job to be a canoe and not an angry guy.
So it's a very fine line.
It's not. It's the line. It's not even fine. It is it. You're either there or not.
If you're in anger, you're not a canoe.
Exactly.
That's what you mean.
Yeah, for sure now. For
the
sure
fine
now.
line.
But he wants to know how. This you can feel. It's gray. It's a white grayish light. You can see it right there.
Canoe is then perfectly aligned.
Sure. What's
No, I didn't see it that way. I saw canoe. I'm perfectly angry.
Well, we have to know who. It's a once in a lifetime. It's a tough job. I mean, the Satmar Rebbe was a canoe, and he's a tzaddik. Nothing to talk about. It was a tzaddik Yisod. I know a little bit of his work that he did. I can see it now. It was a tzaddik Yisod, and we want him to see this nefesh.
There's plenty of them.
Said it. We're talking about people that he knows. The ones that we are so trained to turn on him too. That's what type of Mesiris Nefesh you want to. That we're like,
So where's the Tiferes in canoes? What do you call it Tiferes?
Weisz is sound. I think this how this is going to work. Somebody here, whoever, we're going to have moments of canoes, and if you feel that you got close to it, you're going to share it, and we'll check it. What's that? I think yeah. Like we're experimenting with it. It's an exercise. How am I explaining it canoes? I kind of see it in color, but I know it's avoided. I know it's avoided because it's not on your body. It's here. It's dry, but yet it's fire. It's strong. It's you know what it is. It's having your eye on the mission, on your truth. What's my truth? It's not out there. It's inside over here. That's where it's at, right here.
In a point, it's like
Right here, right here. What's my desire? What do I stand for? I stand for nothing. What's my desire? What is this? Aligned, the Kenusi. I was able to express a perfection. I was able to show up without any interference. It wasn't his anger. That's what the Torah says. Yes.
كل بعض اللي جيت مران كان زعف شك مازن غيرت في البريس غيرت في الخير شو مشيخ the balance zwischen the what you do in tefillah the verlangen etwas and surrendering at the same time.
Wow. Yeah. It's the biggest struggle that we're having. Then I'm routine and I find myself clutching.
Yeah.
And if I do, I'm already out of alignment again. Right? Wie darf ik zijn als we zijn aligned? And fine. The Rebbe says Torah tefillah.
No, that's correct.
Anyway, so Torah tefillah, and then let's go into the feeling. It's where you don't overheat, where you're not overheated yet.
The balance zwischen verlangen and surrendering.
I'm working and I'm not overheated yet. What's my gauge as to maybe my projections are too low? I should go higher. Okay, so if you're on a schedule, getting up a certain time, davening, doing ABC, whatever you do, going for your walk, meditating, breathing, mindful feeling for 3 minutes, whatever, davening, yes, we're not trying to say that over here it's okay to daven 3 minutes, no, but we understand the value of a 3 minute, we're talking about just the connection. Weisz, the ganze davening, yes, no, good, it's amazing, it's beautiful, of course, but if you can't feel it, just tune into, get out of all projections, tune into where it's nicht übergestring, but from that place, shoot. Go fully forward. 3 minutes, listen to your favorite song. I recommended it to one or two chaver, and there's a lot of success.
Das war schön, present. Sie können fühlen, wenn sie können.
Mensikim Roots.
Create feeling. Have to create a feeling, of course.
Yeah. The names are there. Okay, so we have Cheskel Ben Eisel Ziesel, one of the sponsors. Shine the Ruchel Bas Chaya Atia. Okay, sponsor. Doe Ben Ruchel Malka. Maya Surah Ben Lai. Also Nochem's birthday today. Menachem Nochem. Shabbos. Mindful, is it right? I think I got it right. This is the latest today. Okay. Huh?
What if he didn't get it right?
We still have in my mind.
Still have what?
Still have in my mind. What difference does it make? The is that this way or that way?
No, it's different for me.
Okay, so then what? Do you have it? Yeah.
No, you said my student alive.
On Das ist es, gestanden. Das ist geschehen. Verstanden? No, staat maar ben Surulaya. Was it Brazil? Okay, forget it. He wasn't talking about that. Okay. Nog een mensen willen gaan, hè? Maar ben Surulaya. Makes no difference.
But something shifted in me before.
Why
when
something
I heard
shifted
my
in you?
Surulaya.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a shock to the brain.
I'm trying to go back to it. What was it?
It's a shock to the brain. So
No,
then
it's
you.
not only shocking, but it's one thing. But why did he say? Why did he say that?
So if you want to listen or you want to talk?
Listen.
Okay. So, what was the difference if the name would have been said right versus the name that was said with a twist? What caused in your head? Caused you a shock in the head? We said something shifted.
I felt it, but
Oh, fine. I'm sorry. You felt it. So it caused you to feel something. So that feeling, that's it. No. ומקודם זה הצורך תשוקי גדול וחשי גדול וזה הוא על ידי בכינוס של היום אוירר התשוקי מקודם ואחר כך הוא בכינוס משיח כי בוועדה בכל תפילה העגונה jede tefillah which is hoigen which is again tzigepast שהוא בייחד מחשבה ודיבה which is מייחד מחשבה ודיבה נעשה תיקן בכינוס משיח. With that there is a tikkun of B'chinas Mashiach, which means that if you are mindful for those 3 minutes, right, we're being realists over there, 3 minutes of power, connection, in that 3 minutes, even like prepared, let's just say if it's 60 seconds, of Shema Yisrael being in oneness, which means, by the way, yeah, but I'm feeling, yeah, that too is a part of oneness. That's the Akrova Sakar. Like, yeah, I don't need to figure out all my problems. I know that I'm a misfit. I know that I have misfit. I know that I have problems. I know that I'm not perfect. I know I have issues. That too is Eichad. And on top of that, what's my proof? Baruch Shem Kvod, Malchus Yelo Elam Vad. Malchus Peh. Without my expression, without my feelings, without all that stuff, what is there? There is no expression. So we have to give it a bitter, but he's saying this is how the bitter happens when you're connecting for Machshav v'dibber nasa tikkun b'chinas Mashiach ki k'moshe b'bis Mashiach tzadkeinu v'meher b'yimenu yeh yichet shlemes gomer b'tmidus. Once Mashiach is going to reveal himself, there's going to be that connection. Once connected, then it's a yichet shlemes gomer b'tmidus. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Ki oz here aliyahs kol machshavos. And by the way, let's put it this way. Once you see it, you are connected. Once connected, you can't unconnect. Once you connect to light, you can't disconnect from light. It's a connection. There may be a cloud in the middle. Now, that cloud in the middle is because you are connected, it's coming through your way for you to burn through it and bring a light to that, bring oil into that place. Bring Shabbos into that place. Shabbos is the machshava. Shabbos is the machshava. That's when you have the power to connect that. So instead of being a baby and looking at myself as a victim about my problems, I understand they're just coming through. You know, like the image that I'm getting is almost like a meat slicer that you put through the meat, except this one is light. You have the pillar of light connected, like a bluish, light blue light connected, and as your problems are coming, it just melts. It's the color of water. Like nice blue water reflected from the sky. That what? Oh, okay. So that is just coming through. Anything that comes through that. Just how you do it with Netzach. Netzach is stepping into it. Confidence. Yeah, labels and all that. Achir. Go back to the truth. What's my truth? Of course, there's incoming because it's coming. It's there to get a bitter. It's there to get a tikkun. What's your truth? Is your truth the truth? Then go for it. Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. Don't ask nothing. Hesheves Chamasi. He says that when after he killed them, the Shevet Shimon, the tribesmen, the Chaver, they started coming. He passed out. He died. I mean, he's like, that's it. And that's when Nadav and Avi's Neshama were hanging on the air. He saw the mem, and it goes into the whole thing over there. Beautiful. How he downloaded Ramach. Reumach is Ramach. Mach Mitzvah, he nailed it. So, going back to your truth. If you want to play soft, then play soft. It's not for everybody. Like, really? Who decides who it's for? Who? Another pare? You decide the temperature of what people can, how much heat they can take. The Olam verstaat nicht zu them. The Olam verstaat nicht zu them. So we're switching from one pare to another pare. The Olam verstaat very good. You give them toich and they're going to buy. You give them high conscious, they're going to eat it. That's it. Verstaat very good. I get the taste buds. So if you want to just go take small steps, okay, I get it. This is a very intense issue over here. This is, I can only deliver the way it was delivered to me. Azatz and cup. It works. It works for me. And I was just trying to do it in 3 months. That's it. Ki az hi aliyas kol hamachshavos va'osiyas shu hadiver. Thank you. Thank you. Ki az hi aliyas kol hamachshavos va'osiyas. Ki az hi aliyas kol hamachshavos va'osiyas shu hadiver. Demon's got to open alle machshavas and alle oisias, which is the dibber. Ik weet nog hoe this meint. Yeah, but what does it look like? No. Oh, okay. Language, higher language, yes, okay. Ka'az hier more potential. Ka'az hier aliyas kol machshavas va'oisias shu dibber. The dibber. So if the oisias get an aliyah, that means that my machshava has an aliyah. Listen to this. Watch how this works. You have to start with machshava, the yichud of machshava and dibber. He's talking about that. Give me 3 minutes of yichud of machshava and dibber. Now, once you're in yichud machshava and dibber, you understand how to do those moments. When Mashiach comes, which means when you're having revelations, your consciousness is raising, which means that your machshava is going up, which means that your dibber, your oisius is going up. So you're talking different talk, because the higher talk, there is no pain in the higher talk. There's no worry in the higher talk. There's only low frequency oisius. So when you're having these moments of isgalas, be mindful. And by the way, starting from now until Sukkot, it's the oisias are whatever you're upgrading is coming in gevuras. They're coming in gevuras. They're intense. Pinchas started it off and it's gone. The drei Wochen, Tisha B'Av, noch ein Kimchen El is Ani L'Doidi V'Doidili, Melech Basada, but it's all with gevuras. So you're having an opportunity to have massive breakthroughs which are going to be in your face, tapadiga. Because it's not lofty in Pesach and the fleet, and then you have to come back. You're in action. So if there's going to be revelations, you're going to see it. Wow, I had this understanding, and I was walking, and this worked out, and I was starting good. I had positive thoughts, and just it went away. I had a realization that when a person that's not well is in a low frequency, maybe I can just raise my awareness, send positive flow, keep sending positivity. The positivity overpowers the low frequency. Somebody sends out, send them back positivity. If you channel it through Pinchas ben Elazar ben Anaka, and he's the funnel, so even if it's not 100% perfect, he'll deal with it. He'll make sure it lands the right way. Because ultimately he wants the Gviras Shalom, he wants peace. So he goes full circle. So send it out, and he'll do the right thing. Maybe there will be in his galus a moment, so we can finally understand the bigger picture. Everything is turning into a politic. Everything. Ki az yeh aliyas kol hamachshavos va'oisiyos. Yeah, I'm going to say no. No, it's going to stop. You're qualified or not? Nonsense is going to stop. I'm stopping it. What?
Positive flow.
Very positive. Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron Nakoyim mit Kanas. That's what's going on. Positive flow. It's not positivity. It was positive flow.
He said.
Every Black Lives Matters positive flow. It has to be properly channeled. What do you mean? There's clip and then there's positivity.
You said I have ascended, so
What?
you said I have ascended. Not I. We have descended.
Yeah, it's fine.
We have descended positive flow.
So just
Okay.
finish it off.
However he takes it.
What?
Just finish it off. Pinchas ben Elazar.
Exactly.
Straight sure.
Ki az yeh aliyas al kol hamachshavos va'oisiyos. No, I think I did. Zat Hashem. Ki az yeh aliyas kol hamachshavos va'oisiyos shehu adiber. Kachu b'chol adam b'shas hatfilah. Make life easier. Okay. 59. Kachu b'chol adam b'shas hatfilah. V'toyre b'chinas Mashiach hayichad hazeh. V'toyre b'chinas, I think this is Mashiach hayichad hazeh. Kachu b'chol adam b'shas hatfilah. V'toyre an adam, which is oine adam, whoever is an adam. B'shas hatfilah, when he davens. When you are in tefillah, the whole day is at tefillah. Everything you're experiencing is at tefillah. It's not blocks, it's not Legos, it's not I have to cover the bank. No, make it softer. More tzuradik. There's a peckle of some choshech there. It stinks. I need to clear out. What am I doing over there? Put your good eyes in it. Go to a friend that will give you a chizik or good advice. They'll give you extra koyach for a few minutes. And realize, maybe I need to give tzedukah. Maybe I need to give somebody a compliment. Maybe I need to just go to the mikveh. And maybe I need to make achlata. Maybe I need to take a few minutes for myself, my wife, my kids. And that thing is going to air out. It's going to move away. Everybody breathe in and exhale, push away all your negativity, all your worries. Kachu b'chol adam b'shas hatfilah v'torah b'chinas Mashiach hayichad hazeh shehu sad binyan koimus Mashiach. This is how I start building this consciousness called oneness, being aware, present. K'mamar Abel Shem Tov begins in Meremem. Shetzorach gelechem Yisrael the saken jede Yid darf man saken sein, fix, connect, ulehachin chele koimus Mashiach hashayach neshmasa. You have to find the chele koimus Mashiach for your neshama. What talks to you? Where do you connect? What snaps your brain? This is klal, but then go out there. What snaps your brain? What brings you in oneness? What excites you? Could be connecting a pipe. That's bringing it in all the way down on Asiyah. Powerful. That's Shevet Shimon. That's the Atara. Yosef is the Yesod. Binyamin is in the edge, all the way down on the edge. So in your corner, wherever your corner is, but if that's where your connection is, okay, you connect the physical there, and then you keep climbing the ladder.
Was er gelijk tussen
zwischen Yosef and...
Ben Yuma.
What's the chilek zwischen the Yisod and the Atura? How much more he's way more vulnerable.
Who's the Chilik zwischen Atur, the Yisod and Malchus?
Zwischen?
Alles begonnen is
What's the chilek zwischen?
Tegen Yisod and Malchus.
The Atur and Yisod got around in Malchus. Good. Which means that your actions is a constant yichud from Malchus, the Nuk from the Zohar. It happens to be we are the Malchus, and then we're connecting with Meyachab, the Kitchabrich Shkinta. He's the masculine. This is the Midas. The Midas are. Can you imagine the Midas? How rigid the Midas are. We're talking here about levels up in Bria. We're talking about intensity. Guys have a moment of intensity. We're talking here about. We're talking about the guys that were channeling the tzaddikim were aligned. They're talking about Midas, Kitchabrichi. And he makes connection. We're connecting when you're feeling that expansion and that lightning going through your body. That's where Malchus gets a proper strike. And if it's not, it may look like Gevuras, but really it comes from Chasodim. It's all Chasodim. Behind all the Gevuras comes Chasodim. So that's Malchus. Malchus is the vessel that receives, and the action is the masculine. And sometimes we take on different forms. Sometimes the yichud is otherwise. You become the provider, you're the aggressor, and the other person is receiving. Kanoida, she'adam who, listen to this, speaking of having humility to what the tzaddikim are saying, to take it literally, what does it mean? Kanoida, she'adam hu Rosh Tevis, Adam, the label Adam, which is like, if going into Microsoft Windows, clicking on a window gives you exactly where you need to go, then an ois in Lashon HaKodesh for sure gives you the exact stamp where you need to be. So Adam is Rosh Tevis, Adam David Mashiach. That's the kav that we exist from. Adam David Mashiach. Shekamatze shel Adam Erish Masef Ela Matzefe Hoya Hoya Shoy Klulam B'Konis Adam Erish Kol Neshamos Shel Yisrael. We're all in Adam Kadmon. We're all in Adam Erish. He got smaller. We're going to ultimately connect Zaksin the toes and the Shumas. Just the way it was before the Chet of Adam Rishon. I can't say what's that? Duwit is Malchus, Duwit is the fighter, Duwit is the power. Duwit is the guy, Duwit gives us the koyach to overcome any type of tiger. He battled all the nations, that's he gave him Makis. Whatever was left, was always got the Tzansha.
So they're not good when you gave him the label for Duwit.
What's the going on? I mean, back then, they had an ideology. He was fighting with something, now he's fighting for what? For a TV show? I mean, he took out the teeth. It's busy though, and so here we can, so everybody's doing their thing. Exactly. Literally, with Zana Tanai Simon physically. It's another one. Pinchas and the Melech. It's in the koich, in the fight to get out of the gulas. Okay, and so Kelech Mesor Leichen Chele Bechnes Mashiach Ashach Lechele Nishmasim. Jedi darf Zigaretten Zahncharig Mashiach, und Zahncharig Neshama. Atshi Tikken with the Koine Kola Koime. Bis dat Zahn Tikken en overgestellt, festgestellt Kola Koime, the ganze Koime. You should be able to think, to be in a day of proper thinking, proper alignment. That's a Koime Shalem. We tell you it's easy, but if not, it gets hard. Yichud klale betmidas b'meir b'mena. Should be a yichud betmida b'meir b'mena. But kol zeh hu al yedei yichud machshava v'dibur. All that is through the yichud of machshava v'dibur. Once again, when you're aligning, you're present with what you're saying. Which also means that if you're present with what you're saying, you're not going to be saying a lot of things because you're present with what you're saying. Shamachshava hu nishmas adibur mechayo. The machshava is the neshama of the dibur, which is mechayo. And you are speaking. The neshama of that is the machshava. I speak what you think.
speak what you think. I speak what I think. Ki tefillah b'lo kavana, ka guf b'lo neshama. Tefillah on a kavana is as if a guf without a neshama. It's good, but every time you daven, let's say if you create different energies, without kavana, you're creating these dummies. They're going to hit you in the head all day long. Like it's a hard surface. Imagine all day you walk around without your shoes and getting, every time you hit your toes, wherever you go. Right, or every 10 minutes. But instead, if you have 3 minutes of alignment, you just created yourself, put yourself into the nanako, where you have a little bubble that you're in, and you can make it through the day. Shehu yichad gamer, t'muveret son b'makam achav. Zeh yafsher im lo yadeh tshuka shemakodim. First, you have to have this tshuka. Shu b'chinas hamavasir b'chinas eliyahu. B'chinah mavasir, which is b'chinas eliyahu. Go. Correct, but I'm still not getting. Yeah, what's his talking about? Yeah, Avasa is that. Yeah, so like, you're feeling, you're stuck. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Any breakthrough you have, that's the shtoik, because that's the mavasa of Eliyah. Any shtoik you have, any breakthrough you have, that is the mavasa of Eliyah. So once you have that, v'lakach nikra Mashiach. Ki Mashiach yiloshen dibe. Ki Messiach. Kach yiloshen nikra Messiach. I think it's the words of Messiach. Messiach means Messiach. Messiach is Chasov. Ki Messiach yiloshen dibe. B'machshava, Messiach hasad dibe. The machshava is the neshama of the dibe. In the Mavasar B'Sirus Levet, so the way we said before, once you raise your machshava, you're raising your oisius, you're raising your consciousness, and only be Mavasar Teres. Every time you're in alignment, every second you're in alignment, whenever you're there, that is Tikkun B'Chinas Mashiach. You're bringing in this consciousness that you're at right now, you are connecting a B'chin of Mashiach. So you just brought Mashiach into this moment. And then it's going to be a Koina, another Mashiach, another second, and then we're all going to be klal, as I said before, 600,000. More and more people are doing their work and waking up and becoming, want to be better. Levels. Where you were last year, he's there now. Right? But then it moves faster because once light is lightning speed, it travels fast. Because once you learn how to read it in a feeling and being present, it takes within a week, a few months, you have it operating from your stomach, from your gut. Once the gut is clean, then you can trust it. Anyways, that's the vat. Let's put it this way, even better. The Mavasar B'Seiris is so toivis that once you have a moment of this Izgalas, you don't need any rationalization. It overpowers the yovel, it overpowers the whatever questions you have. Right? It's Buddha communism. Once you jump from the cliff, it's like, what's the point in thinking of going back?
The slices really connect to the light.
Slices?
Meat slices.
Yeah, the
Once you get
yes.
far in, it's the inner.
Yes, exactly. Once you're in the inner, that's why there's
You can disconnect from the light.
exactly. That's why there's some resistance. You're trapped. You know those stores that have the two doors. Sometimes you get stuck in the middle. It's a trap. Once you do it, it's like you're trying to pull out. All you can do then is just hate. But that won't help you either. It just makes the nafesh kick even harder because so he takes on to give the nafesh that bitter. And I'm on this. Good. I'm grateful that if not, somebody else would have to do it.
What if then you go to the feeling?
What?
What if you go to that feeling?
Wow, B'nai Yisrael. Kennis. Wow. Gewaldig. That's now we came full circle with it.
Yeah. What if when you go to that feeling of your heated moment, that feeling, that brings you back to the question why you're feeling the stone when you walk without shoes? The same feeling.
I can't do this now, man. We'll do it outside when we take the break. No, that's more like different type of talk. Okay. Okay. There is moments, but it's not consistent yet. Like it's going to be when Mashiach is coming. It already happened. He said B'Yemenu, so. V'lekach koyd nashleim es hagomer. So, so if you can elevate your machshava, which elevates your dibur, so when you become present, you're becoming present to a higher conscience. So machshavta shalom is is in a different step. Yeah, understand? So machshavta shalom is, he says b'mheri b'yemenu, in our days. This is Nitzchi. He said. He's already talking from that place. He was there. He had to be there because he's mashpia. He's throwing rocks like these white coals of fire. What do you think he's doing over here? He's throwing rocks. Well, you're Nubi Mashiach talking. This is not. I mean, it's said in cards to the point. Can't get away from it. So we should have them as bonus. And the Rebbe said Mashiach is here. Which means that we need to upgrade. Stop the questions. Just go with it. We have the protection from the Kahanim. Nobody can get close to be Nichel. That's set in stone. It's 2 weeks ago's Parsha. Parshas Koyrech. Nobody can get too close. The Kahanim are watching. You need to go with you go with this. There's a destination. Nobody can get in there, and they give you what they. You bring them your carbon, and they give you. You makriv your carbon, as the Rebbe says last week in the Maimed, and I said it before. The carbon is your behemoth, your skaf and your sapra. So as you bring this to the Kohen, to your higher conscious, to the Tasadim, he will give you back. Don't worry, nobody gets nichel in the fire. Eventually, yeah, we will be, but we'll be conscious of it. So they say. Okay.
Somebody have to be the Kohen?
There's different levels of Kohen. Your chavrusa can be your Kohen. Your Rav can be your Kohen. Your wife can be your Kohen. How many times do you want to click and you're like, no. That's you just overcoming this. You're overcoming your behemoth. But, of course, then there is a time where we get together in a proper, intentional celebration of celebrating my wins. And you're feeling and you're connecting and he's giving you back. He gives you back your channel. He gives you back. That's the Beis Hamikdash. Beginnings of it.
So why do you need
Fabrengens. What was the Fabrengen about? Getting together. Chaver getting together. Say l'chaim and get to a place. Get to the uvechen. Get to a moment. And now it's done in different ways. Some people do it in whatever method they have. A workout. You can do that too. Go for a run. Do a nice bike ride and connect. Celebrate your all the wars that you won. Of dealing, holding back, not reacting, yes, reacting, and then after reacting, checking if it was authentic, doing the avoid, davening, learning, striving to become better, bringing good, not talking, lashon hara, holding back. It's a big one. It's a big one. Sometimes it's like Laman Hashem. You have to discuss it. So yeah, but really, not really Weisz. I never saw my Rav discuss any type of data. So I guess it's not. But fine, it's avoided. What?
Why do you need today? Why do you need a coin?
Hold on. Your coin can be Rav Schlesinger.
Why do you need a coin?
You don't need him.
It's a code. Yes. This kaf is your what's mizbech.
Good.
So why do you need a coin? Should take.
You don't need to. We said. So then, hold on. Fine. But then there is two things. First of all, energetical is a coin. In other words, taka when you're doing this and you're doing your own avodah and it's beratz and you're connecting, you are still connecting to the coin because if you remove the arna coin from there, you know what that looks like? Probably one of the toughest days that you've experienced in your
Hajzdur.
That's no, chas v'shalom. In Gevuras. You can't handle it. How do I process? I can't process this. It's too black. Every time they went close, they got zapped. Every time they stepped out of bounds with it, they just. So the Abishah said, "Okay, Moshe, go tell them. You stand over here. The Levium, the Kahanim, nobody enter. This is as far as you go. You have your favorite coin. Go find your coin. But you still have your. That's what the Rebbe says in the Maamar. You have to have a Rav. You have to have a Rebbe. Somebody, a hierarchy. Yeah, it's called a Rebbe. It's called, whatever it is. Not the Rebbe as we know it. Just somebody that. That's what he says. When you have that bittul, that's when you can go safely. So,
Second thing.
no, what's the Gezur, the Maamar?
Was mit dat bechlal hakoyim.
Okay,
Even
so-
in dan koyim.
Yeah.
Okay, so eins is
Just go
this.
direct.
Good. So eins heb ik eens geantwoord. This. The zweite Sache is that are there days where die davos gaan to the Tzadik van Shlut? Guys, the davos met
Because I can't down that.
them was guys that some coin.
Oh.
No, there's no such days.
What?
There's no such days.
What do you mean there's no such days? The guys some coin? Okay.
Of course you are going.
He said it like so convinced. Like, are they like zicher? No, it's not.
What you're doing right now, you're not doing a
Where you
Kruvas
come
Hakar? When you go to Tefillah, you're not doing a Makar Hakar?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So what's when the guys from Tamini need them, since Makar Hakar?
Yeah, but
We're not sensitive to it because it's not set up as nice and romantic as this. But it should. Why can't we have Friday night beautiful setup? Boy, call up on Shabbos the Kabbalah. Imagine what would happen. The fire that would come out.
Yes.
It's like the Rose Felt. I saw it 2 weeks ago from Barizo, from Chaim Vital. Just looking at the Huvi Lashem on the Kavan of Huvi Lashem. He's talking about. Literally, like the Rose from Bag,
Should go camping.
Okay.
So a coin.
So the coin is the guy. It says in all this form you should have when there's a day that you feel that you don't have the coin. Connect yourself with that with your guy. Somebody that knows how to daven, not just a guy. We're talking about guys that are a bit Shemai. These cover they know how to daven. Or any guy that you feel that he's got it, and connect to him and send your tefillos his way, because he has the channel open. Or send it to it says a liberty. And then the Rebbe says there's another thing. When you go to the kever of a tzaddik, that is a tunnel to all the tzaddikim, so you can connect from there to any kever and it's a surul anywhere. It's a tunnel.
Instead of a coin?
Instead of?
Instead
This
of
is
a coin?
the koyim.
No, that's something else. Leibedi and Mer Leibedi. Somebody asked me what's after the Batir. It says his Gringer, it's the under the edition. It says in the storm, but I heard him say it. So it's his Gringer. See how he's staying in connected to the tzaddik. It's like his Gringer. Oh, somebody asked him about Poel Vaji. Is it this? His Gringer, it's the under the edition. We can't say something Gringer. Van tzaddik, his Gringer is the Poel dan for die. Under the edition. So now, but here the vette with the tzaddik are gezoekt and go in. That's what we said. The minute we're gonna get tuned into the sensitivity, take it exactly. That's why you need the tzaddik. You need to have Kabbalah Surah. Well, you need to. Otherwise, we don't chap. Gezoekt, meestal stam gezoekt. Gegeven aan others. Let's do another, please. Alright. Kan allemaal zijn wat we gaan zoeken. Ook was Sibla zei, Shalom moed het chuku, nooit ik heb niet zo Eloi, zagen naar Shamash en naar Raviu, benay Han. Bam 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 bam. Wacht ik zo'n pinge, je wordt je eerder aan de Shamash. Dan kan je tomato hier gedaan. Spaat chuku shal yoda hier naar Shalom. Because never of these
Ich will Moshe denken, was zu tun. Sie sind rausgegangen von den Stockikes. Beim Sossen Hoyle, der Stockikes Rav, bis Lahavas Gedöle, sie sind rausgegangen von a massive Lahavas Gedöle, fire. But we're talking about Baruch Hu. We're talking about nicht kein wilde fire. We're talking about Kahana, which is, their avoid is Bechashoy. The coins avoid is inside here. You see nothing. They're quick, swift. It's Bechashoy. Nothing is said. Kahana Zizina. That's the slightest fat in the carbon. It's already not. The carbon is already the puzzle. Not puzzle. It's already not 100% alignment. And there could be, the fire may not like that. So every carbon had to be like this. So none of their own stuff. They're proper channels. Until, because of their dvekes, their constant dvekes, in this oil, this lichtige oil, v'zach, rein, hante zach tamas. Hante zach tamas, het gaat zijn. Yes, here's the andere weg around, zach, beautiful. V'zach, schreibt which is the 6 midas. Ba'oil ba'on, v'zach, et shuka chazaka. V'zach, atschmach was the v'kossen, ba'oil ba'or, v'zach. Et shuka chazaka. So, fine, this is this is Finn Nochum's birthday, because he told me it's his birthday. Today is Chav Zayin. So that's why this came up. V'zeh shenem v'tetz esh m'lifnei Hashem. It's going 5 for 5 hours. V'atoich lois v'misel v'nei Hashem. L'ifnei Hashem daike. Sheniskarvim oid bis lahavos godel am m'chunne la'esh m'lifnei Hashem. Okay. Shekol hatshuka shel Yisrael shu b'chinas mein nokvan alichot dir machshava. They got all your desires, that everything that your wants and your needs and whatever your uncomfortability is coming from that place. That shuka shel Yisrael shu b'chinas man. Man is main nukvan, which is the feminine, which is malchus. Al yichad dibur machshava, to be meyachad with dibur machshava, to have a moment of clarity. Hu el de eli neshama she'asav avodas Hashem. It's through these neshamas which they do in avodas Hashem. I think that's the touch. V'yichad hagomer, b'tshukos nagdola, with the final yichad, with the massive chukah. I want to reread it again, make sure that I said it right. Shekol hatshukas shel Yisrael, shu b'chinas man, al yichad dibur machshava. Al yichad dibur machshava, shekol hatshukas shel Yisrael, shu b'chinas man, al yichad dibur machshava, hu al de ela neshama she'asa ba'avoda, she'asa avodas Hashem. Zatin and avodas Hashem. Asu is asiyah, the hands, they're doing. They're out there, they're exposing themselves. Vayichad hagomer b'tchukas nagdola. Finally yichad with the chukah gdola. The fire was said, Brent, I want out, I want a breakthrough, I want to feel, I want to connect, I want to be a better father, a better husband. Kids, awarenesses, diet, eat food, like I'm becoming one with it. Kanoida she'an Hashem Ashiyana, the word an Hashem, an Rashatevis Eluyo Nadav Aviyu. It's big. I don't know how to pronounce it. This is big. An Rashatevis Eluyo Nadav Aviyu. Fine, we know this Yiddish Hamatziyas. It's massive.
So the alle drei is going there. The drie getigen gewinne stukjes. Elioi. Stukjes gaat te brengen Mashiach. En dat de Weisz stukjes wat gebrengt lifnei Hashem. Dat is gestorben van deze stukjes. Het Elioi is meer in Keilen. Dus ze komt aan. Zachsiel. Zij zijn alles van de ganzen van de Geder Uda.
Ik heb geruimd bij jullie. Ramach met z'n zessen.
Het is er aangelegd in Keilen. En zij zijn alles.
And they finally had their aliyah, of course, because they were not married. So they had no... yeah. Shetamed Haman. Oh no, man. Okay, now it's coming together. Oh no, it's not man. Let me see man. No. Right there. Episode. I mean. Ba'atshuku hal yodam. V'zeh nikra shalom. Shu shleim is gomer. This is shalom because it's shleim is gomer. Okay, so if you're in constant, if you're present, chukka, your desire, you keep your desire going, you keep fighting, you keep going. And that's what we said before. The Rebbe says that the existence here is in the action. It's the koyach apoil benifel. Koyach apoil, squeezing, flexing the muscle, but there's no real squeeze here. There's a little bit of a squeeze here. But benifel, this is where it plays out, that squeeze. And here there's a squeeze. And we're right here in the Ekev. And right here in the Ekev, that's where there's Mashiach. Ikvus Mashiach. That's where you can finally see him the way he needs to be in every corner, because we're already puzzled into every corner. We're full color. And now you just need to connect that Yichud Divir. Okay, this is through these neshamas that are fearless. Without this, you're called, if you're not doing it, okay. It's all in the gut. It's all in the nasher. If you're not doing it from here, if you're not doing it from complete amunah, you're still in your head, and you're still doing it a manas l'kabel pras. From your heart, rather. Still doing it from your midas. And when you do it from your midas, there is ego, there's yeshes. When you do it from your head, there's ego, there's yeshes. I need to figure it out. You're still stuck in your head. But when you're doing it from trukah, from islahabas, from fire, it's a gut feeling. You're doing it from your gut. And from your gut feeling, there is no ego there. And that's where the kanoi is also activated. Right from the gut. Right here. Said it before? Lower, right here? Yeah? Okay. So, coming together. Right, that's where the kanoi is. That's where you want to go after your desires, from here. From the gut, from the teferes. That's when it's shalom, because there is no manas l'kabel pras. You're not doing it for any reason. You're just doing it. You're in full flow. Melosh and prusa, shudavar ashuv l'chtzon she'en davar shalom. When you're still doing it for cheshbonis, it's chopped. It's prusa. It's slices. It's broken. It's not connected. Don't be like an Eved that works to be Mukabel Pras. Avoid the Prusa She'en Shleimus. When you are learning and when you talk in the Torah, you should create a desire that you would want to be connected. Until you get out of your body. There's many different days as to why they died, but we can say this also. The emesu that it's through a shlokikus. Rakshigama shamar b'shas hu emes. Beseder. Shalula zoy shamar b'shas hu yaboyde baruch mashama shalo yitzisam shtei mamash. Whatever that references to, why it says in Shas, but because if that was the truth, the reason that they give in Shas, then the Eibishter would be shomer on them that they shouldn't have yitzis not saying. But here we're talking about the complete surrender with Trukah. Rakshal the Ela Dvarim in B'Shas Gam Lahem Lozeh V'Hoven. Kijk dat is een zoekman. Als bij hem was het andere shit.
Die alle dagen de geuring gewinnen, dat heb je het niet geheten zijn in de zon.
There you go.
Had no business. Zij geweld te weggen.
Yes. De zoekte, de Gam Lahem Lozeh V'Hoven. They is like, okay, tak is fully surrendered. Daf no die gelen. Aber bei Emes das Neues avoid the Tama Moed. Tama Moed, what's the real touch of Tama? Gant. More, it's like okay. Okay, so Yichud Shalom is Torah Tefillah, Siyam Tefillah, Kid B'Shalom, Yichud Adivir Machshava. Okay, Kol Zeh is Eliyahu is Muvasser Tov. V'zeh hin Recha Shlech Lechem Tamid B'Hoive Es Eliyahu Tamid Hu. He's always, it's in the present. Can't come al el. Can Chila Koyd Moshe Yichud Anikir Bo Yom Hashem. Hashem is Chalaz Yichud Hashem. Shahei Lim Oisius. Fine. Okay, this is it. Shal Yodam Mekodim Kodesh Yiv Bi Sam Mashiach B'Meher B'Meir B'Tmidis Shiyah Mekodim B'Siris Eliyahu. First there will be B'Siris Eliyahu. Amen Netzach Sela V'Ad Baruch Hashem La'olam. Amen V'Amen. Vision there's going to be Baruch Hashem La'olam forever, once and for all. Nitzchiyas. Maybe we can redo next week the last two pieces.